you get that?
What up? And welcome back to Cohesive Garage. This time, we're chilling in a studio, right?
This is a sauna.
This is a sauna. It's gonna get hot up in here. But, I'm Noah, and this is JR, right? Is it JR?
JR, yes.
Okay. We both happen to be big UFC fight fans. I watched it back in like middle school, high school on VHS at the first one, the second one, and then I got away from it from a really long time. But I've been back, kind of McGregor era. But you've been watching it for like how long?
Yeah,
consistently.
Yeah, I got turned on with I got turned on by the Forrest Griffin Stephen Bonner fight.
Yeah,
weirdly, yeah, I still do. But like that's whenever it starts. So that was like what, early 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So long, and
like
you've
that.
been to UFC fights.
Yeah, I've been to quite a few of them. I've been to like 7 now.
Wow.
And that was like, the whole Matt Hughes, BJ Penn era is kind of really where I started. Chuck Liddell, Tito, those guys, that kind of heyday. Anything before that where it was like weird where you had one guy fighting with a single boxing glove.
That's all me. That was my background.
Yeah. I bet you were watching it for different reasons.
Heavyweight versus featherweight.
Yeah. Now you watch it because it's technically good and it's exciting.
It's fascinating to watch now. Absolutely.
Right. But back then it was kind of like a circus.
Yeah.
Right, which is fun in its own right.
Totally. I mean, but it was the Hollywood movies. The Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee. Yeah. Actually put to practice against like a boxer or a sumo wrestler or whatever you can think of, really.
Exactly.
Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Jiu-Jitsu became a real name.
Yeah.
With Royce Gracie.
Mm-hmm.
And
he put that's why Gracie's huge. It's just because of that UFC.
Dude, the whole family. I mean, I'm coming to learn about the whole family's history now and everything. But anyway, we just watched a fight night on a Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
What's today's date?
Today is the 13th.
The 13th. Okay, so we just finished it up. What'd you think?
On a scale, I think that it's good to, like, after you see something, you go into it with expectations, right? Like this last 249, you go in with expectations.
Oh my god, 249! What a stacked card.
Stacked card, right? But I would argue that this card in itself would match that as far as excitement goes. With a lot of like the cool fights. Sure, it didn't have like the name value.
No, but it had good finishes. It had great technique and a lot of heart.
Yeah. So on a scale, there's a couple boring fights in there. But I'd probably give this like, maybe like a 7 out of 10 if I was to rate it.
I'd have to agree. What about 249? What'd you think of that one? Like, on your rating scale?
God, I mean, there was just like a couple fights that just made it that much better for me. Like, probably give it like an 8 out of 10.
Right.
Like just one up, barely.
I'd agree. I'd be at like 8.2 or something stupid like that. Because I really have to think about it because there was so many great fights and so many names too, really.
Yeah. And I'd have to go back and like...
And it's been a while, so...
Rewatch it. Yeah.
It's nice to have it back.
Exactly. And so there was the hype and, we hadn't had it for a couple months. And so, we were feeling a little dehydrated.
Exactly. A little dry in the nutsack.
Yeah. But now our nutsack are filled.
That's right. They're healthy again. They're recycling, I would call it.
Yeah. But I feel like for this card, as far as name value goes, very low. There was good guys on there like Michael Johnson, but he was like 20-15. I didn't even know that was his record until like they announced it.
It's not 20-15. Dude, it's that bad.
It's that bad. Where's that?
I know I've only seen him lose since I've been watching UFC for the last, 3 or 4 years?
Sorry. 19-16.
Oh... Even worse.
So, but Michael Johnson, he's very recognizable from being Dustin Poirier, being Tony Ferg, Ferg.
But why is nobody talking about how many losses that man has?
I don't know.
I've been paying attention. I've been seeing him fight, and I've been seeing him lose, and I'm like, well, he might lose again because that's his consistent thing that he does. I had no idea he was losing that much.
Yeah.
That's a losing record.
Dude, yeah, but you look at guys like Nate Diaz, his record sucks as well.
But it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
You can see that he's, championship quality. But man, that's a lot of losses. And to a guy that we didn't even know tonight.
Yeah, we had no idea who that guy was.
Okay, well, we're talking about too much about this fight. We should start at the beginning.
Start at the beginning for
sure. And I missed it because these guys started it without me.
We should have watched it before recording this. We can always go back. But I'll run this down. So Chase Sherman was 2 years removed from the UFC. He came in. He fought some dude named, was it Ike? I don't even know how to say that name. Ike Villanueva, who's 16-10, and this guy fought 2 years ago as a middleweight, and now he's a heavyweight.
Whoa.
Not in like a good way, like he Alistair Overeemed, packed on muscle kind of a way.
Okay.
Like he was eating burritos and drinking beers.
As come, this is what you see, this is what you get kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And he got beat up like it.
Oh, really?
So that was a very impressive fight. Chase Sherman impressed the hell out of me in that fight. Super clean boxing. Picked his shots really well.
Mm.
You know, and we were just talking about this, but I agree that it's like, I really like the no fans.
Yeah.
Because I can hear things.
We should just make a video just about that. But let's talk about that for a minute because, yeah, I mean, the ring, the corner talking is so clear. Mm-hmm. Like, even their whispering, you can hear it clear as day.
Yep.
In between rounds. I'm surprised that they only show it like towards the last fights. Like the last 2 fights, I think, are the only ones that we saw corner advice during the break.
Right.
I don't pay that much attention, so I might be wrong. But yeah, hearing the splack of the glove, the thwack of the kick.
There you go.
I mean, it's really awesome because you get much more of a sense of the impact, and then also like fighters had different things. Like it was Johnson again. We just can't stop talking about the guy. He's so fantastic. But when he strikes, he has an after he lands. He
like punches and then exhales.
And he's like, you could tell he's like You know, I think that's something that the shovel would do.
I feel like that's a great shovel move.
Yeah, it's a good shovel. Like if I was a UFC fighter, I'd be the shovel because I think there's not enough pushing in the UFC. I'd also probably try to implement a clothesline off the fence, like I'd bounce against the fence and try to go for, you know, I'd have to practice it a bunch, but
it never works.
Yeah, and you're the what?
I'm the affectionate.
So JR, the affectionate.
The affectionate, yeah.
So are you effective, or are you trying to hug people?
No. Yeah, I'm trying to hug them. I'm trying to love on people.
Get the feels.
Yeah.
For the fans or for the fight? From the fight.
Everyone.
Everybody.
What's affectionate?
So do you walk out on pedals? Like, what's your?
No,
you're a lover, not a fighter.
I don't even make it to the cage because I walk out and then I just jump in the crowd and start loving on people.
Just loving on people. You're just.
That's just me.
So is that Molly? Like, what drug is that makes you like this?
Just all of them.
All the drugs.
Yeah, you just take a nice healthy cocktail, pour it in one thing, and say,
"Awesome.
See you tomorrow."
I love it. Okay, well, back to the fight.
Jesus. All right, back to the fights.
Next up, this is when I came in.
So yeah, you saw this one.
And I just saw the end of that one he was just talking about. But really exciting for me because Brian, I can't even say it. Kelleher fought Hunter Azure?
Yes.
Okay.
Who was undefeated before this fight?
Who was undefeated? It seemed like this was his first fight in the UFC potentially, but I didn't catch that exactly. So I don't know. But Brian, I'm a huge fan of lately because I've been watching his some of the stuff that he puts up online. Shout out to MMA World. But he's strumming the guitar talking shit about his next fighter. Mm-hmm. And it's brilliant. I mean, look him up, Brian
Kelleher.
Kelleher.
Brian
the
Boom
Killer.
Kelleher.
Boom City, I guess. I don't know. But I wasn't really impressed with his techniques in this fight. I think he's a little sloppy, and you know, I'm sure I could do much better. Yeah. In a fight. No, but he was pretty wild. Right. But he stuck with it, and he came away with it off a nice clean left jaw rocker that just sent him right to the ground.
Yeah, that left hook was pretty.
Yeah.
But before that, like his fighting style is not like clean. It's not technical. It's it's like you're not going to the fair to, you know, see people in nice suits. Like it's
exactly.
You gotta go for a little bit of a shit show.
It was interesting. I mean, he had good defense. Like his hands were in the right places, and he goes in and he goes for it. And I can't fault the guy for that. And what were we saying? He reminded us of. He reminded me of.
What? Cub Swanson.
Cub Swanson. Just maybe his looks. Quub Swanson.
I didn't think he could get more adorable.
Thanks. But he's you know, he's got that kind of brawler style, it seems. And I don't know if I've ever seen him really fight before. And you say you've seen some losses from him and some wins. What's your take on him?
I was very impressed with him. I know the last guy that he fought, so let's see. Yeah, it was this guy, O'Day Osborne. And it was submission round 1, and they were talking so much shit to each other, and they just came out there and submitted him in the first round. It was crazy. Obviously, And then let's see the fights before that. Well, he lost to John Lineker, Fine, Montel Jackson. I don't know. He sounds like a Beach Boy.
They canceled the fight too.
Yeah, and then so he beat Yuri Alcantara, who was a beast back in the day. He lost to Marlon Vera, submission round 1, and then he beat Damian Stasicki. I don't know who that is. So he's been off and on, but yeah, he won 2 in a row now and called out,
called out the Sugar Show, Sean O'Malley.
Sugar Sean.
Which his last fight was absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
and he
his last
seems
couple
like
fights have been.
Yeah, he seems like a world beater. So I want to see him fight anybody.
Sean?
He's in 145.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's killers in 145. He just needs to work his way up there with some more great performances. And I'd love to see him get what he wants, a good show and maybe pull off the upset. But it looks like Sean would take that out just with how precise and ruthlessly accurate that man is. Yeah. I mean, he's got killer instinct like I haven't seen. I was questioning him, based on his performance in what was it? What was he on?
Like the Contender Series?
The Contender Series, yeah. I mean, like, okay, you got that, and you but let's see what you can do in the UFC.
Sure.
And it was incredible.
He's out there to prove that weed does not make you slow.
Yeah, and
he's quick.
He did have some doping violation recently. He's been out for a year.
Well, yeah, because he got suspended for having marijuana metabolites, and then they changed the rules right after his suspension got up. So he had to take 2 years off for weed, and then they changed the rules.
What a shame.
What a shame. We lost 2 years of that guy's career.
All right, let's talk about the next fight.
All right. Ooh, this one. The Omar Morales versus Gabriel Benitsky.
Slugfest.
Benitz. God, we're really bad at saying
I can't even see it. You got to turn up your font size. Like, I'm blind over here. I need a new prescription.
This is as big as it goes.
It's not.
I don't know how to zoom in.
You go to the desktop and then you right click and go to. But forget it.
We'll figure it out.
It was a slugfest. It was really entertaining. Bless you.
COVID.
People pay for that. Actually, that's going to be great for the video. Don't say COVID. My God, I wish I'd get it. I could get some benefits and stuff. But what did you think?
All right, stimulus check right there. That was a slugfest. I really, you described it best. It was like the oh yeah fight.
Oh, that's when I coined the term. Yeah. Oh yeah, because
boom, oh yeah.
So somebody threw like a combination, and then the other guy threw the exact same combination. Like, oh, you're gonna hit me with that? Oh yeah, we'll take it right back. Oh, you're gonna do that? Oh yeah, and they were just trying to oh yeah each other. So it was an oh yeah fight, and I think the announcers were calling it a similar thing, but they weren't quite as technical as me.
No, never.
Oh yeah, show me your O face, baby.
What?
The fighters, like that kind of thing.
Like Michael Johnson it.
Yeah, Michael Johnson it.
So in this fight we had a decision. Morales, it was a close decision. Morales ended up winning. I think he landed the cleaner shots, maybe a little heavier shots. He started to get his rhythm towards the end of the fight a little bit more. This fucking Gabriel guy couldn't stop fixing his hair.
Right.
And that was.
Oh, that's right. His hair was just long enough.
Benson Henderson, but not.
To not be able to tie it up.
So, yeah, I don't know. That was a good fight. I don't really have much more to say about that.
Well, let's move on then.
Okay.
Next fight was a ladies' fight. I went and got dinner during this fight, and you watched it.
Yep. Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Tell you about it?
Yeah.
Don't watch this fight. That's what you want to know.
He's not the biggest fan of lady fights unless
true.
Unless it's killers. No, I've heard you kind of be like,
what?
Our ladies fighting, and come on.
Trust
me, I'm gonna be sexist, okay, later. So I'm just, you can be sexist too, okay, just a little bit.
So,
but you watched how'd it go?
Real quick. Whenever Ronda Rousey was fucking up girls, the bar was very low. And now that bar is higher with people like Amanda Nunes. But there's like higher. A big discrepancy between talent, It's just they're not quite caught up yet. So whenever these fights are sloppy, I immediately turn off. I don't care if it's guys, but you just don't see men with that talent, that low of talent in the UFC.
Yes.
So there's not that slop anymore. Or if it's sloppy, at least it's fun and someone's getting knocked out.
It's more dangerous was what you're saying too.
Yeah, so it was Saraja Eubanks, who's 5-4, versus Sarah Moraz, who's 6-6 now.
Oh, so they're pretty run-of-the-mill fighters.
Need I say more?
No, you don't need to say more.
Okay, now we're on to the main card. I thought the main card was great.
Yeah.
So one thing that did get canceled was Carl Robertson versus Marvin Vettori, which I was very excited about because I'm a big Carl Robertson fan. But at lightweight, we had Michael Johnson, Jesus Christ, against Thiago Moises. That fight was looking like some classic Michael Johnson for that first round.
Yeah, his lightning hands and his setups were really nice.
Yeah, he
was looking quick. I came into this like I want to see Michael Johnson win because I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got some big names under his belt, either getting beat by or beating.
Mm-hmm.
And I really thought this was his night, but
and that first round was his night.
Yeah,
and then the second round, they came in. The guy jumped on for a takedown, pulled him down, wrapped up his leg, and got a knee bar.
Like it seemed so easy in
30 seconds. Yeah,
it seemed effortless.
And he tapped twice, by the way.
Yeah, he did tap twice. Yeah.
So he lost twice tonight. So he's now 19 and 17.
And they sprinted at each other.
Yeah.
Johnson just wanted to, show his dominance and run to the middle. Mm-hmm. He had no idea that he was going to go in for the takedown, and you saw it. And he kind of tried to move out of the way, and he just got him. I mean, barely. Any higher would have been a clothesline. But he went for the single leg.
I heard you. Yeah.
But he went for the single leg, and he took him down, and it seemed like you shouldn't be getting away with that. Like,
no.
I'm surprised that he got taken down, and I'm surprised he got put in that position so quickly. He looked like he had no idea what was happening.
I don't know if he just doesn't like jiu-jitsu or whatever, but I mean, his KO of Dustin Poirier was beautiful. I remember he KO'd Danny Castillo, who I fucking hated because he wore like sweatbands like it was cool. And I remember I was a fan of Michael Johnson after that KO Danny Castillo. It was beautiful. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously, if you're 19 and 16.
Well, what was it? A leg lock? Or what do you call them?
It was a knee bar.
It was a knee bar. I don't know the last time I saw a knee bar submission.
It's been a really long time.
It's like I thought the game rose above knee bars.
Yeah. How often do you see them anymore? Not very often.
I mean, you see people kind of going for them, or they'll threaten them when they're in an awkward position, like
just to get out of that position, right?
Yeah, a 69 position or something that. Like
it's called north-south, but
north-south. Threaten the 6'9".
Threaten the 6'9". No, not again.
Not again. I don't want this to be on television. But he didn't even try to get out of it, and he tapped twice. He got it like as soon as he put it in, he was like,
yeah, and
then he was like, maybe not. And then he looked at the referee and he was like, "Look, I'm giving up. Can you please get him off me?"
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, and then he sulked. He sulked for a while, which is
get him to Bellator or something. Bellator, he could use. He would be good in Bellator.
He'd be
fun.
Good. Yeah.
He's been around for a long time. I mean, his fight years, 30 fights, most of those in the UFC.
30 fights. Wow. Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. How old is he?
Actually, more 40 fights almost.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we're done with that one. What do you got?
Gotta do math.
No.
Next, we got Andre Arlovsky versus Felipe Lins. Arlovsky is 29 and 19, and Felipe Lins was 14 and 4 after this fight. So he's 14 and 3 coming into this fight. There's a lot of hype around him. Arlovsky won a close decision. It was. Arlovsky was. I was actually kind of surprised they won. It's just from like a damage standpoint, Lins was hitting him hard.
Yeah, I liked the way that Lins looked. He had quick hands. I mean, it was like going from the Michael Johnson fight to this fight. It was kind of like, well, there's obviously a guy who's a bit quicker.
Yeah. It's like if you took like a 7-year-old and then just made them an adult. Like his facial structure didn't change at all. They just made him bigger.
Yeah.
That's what Lins looks like to me.
He just got up from his nap and started whooping.
But super quick hands. Yeah, he lost. Yeah, fuck him.
Fuck him. But Arlovsky with the beard, man.
Still doing it. They said that this year it was 20 years in the UFC. Is that right?
Wow.
I might have just made that up.
You did, but I'm gonna go with it. I like it. All right, let's move up to some little guys.
Mm-hmm.
We have Ricky Seaman.
Ricky Seaman.
Ricky Seaman.
From Vancouver,
Washington. From Vancouver, Washington, represent.
Versus Ray Borg.
Yeah. Ricky's, he's a local guy. His last fight, which was his debut, I think, in the UFC.
No.
Go ahead.
That's wrong.
Hit me with the
knowledge. Well, he lost to Uriah Faber, who's Uriah Faber's comeback fight.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
That was a big deal. And then he lost to Rob Font.
Okay, so it was his third UFC fight.
Yep. No, because here's 2018. So that was his 7th fight. It's fine.
I'll recover.
But Rob Font kind of fucked him up. That's great. Rob Font looked amazing in that fight. And Ricky Small at the end of this fight, he was talking about how he's a wrestler that just likes to punch, or he's a fake striker that wants to wrestle.
Yeah,
that's what he called himself, a fake striker that wants to wrestle. And I believe that. That's how that fight went down for the most part. But Ray Borg was landing clean shots.
Ray Borg looked like a real fighter in this. It looked like he was hitting hard and he was doing well. I mean, it was a real close fight.
Yeah. But Ricky Simone was just a little thicker, a little bit more durable, and put the pressure on him a little bit more. And he's got that Washington backwoods vibe.
That's right.
That hillbilly strength.
He just cut his mullet.
Yeah, mistake. And they said his wife wouldn't fuck him because he had a mullet.
Yeah, he said 2 years he's been sleeping on the couch and he wanted to get some pussy, right?
Something like that. Like maybe a little more G-rated, but exactly those words. So yeah, he got a good win. Decision. Next up we got lightweight is Alexander Hernandez. This was one of my favorite fights on this card.
Yeah, for
Alexander Hernandez versus Drew Dober. Drew Dober got the TKO
Good
at
finish.
4:25 of round number 2.
Good finish. I mean, yeah. Alexander the Great didn't know where he was during multiple flurries, but especially that last flurry.
Yeah.
It was over. The writing was on the wall, and he took a beating. But up until that point, it was a really good striking.
Yeah, it was really competitive, and I know Alexander Hernandez has a lot of credentials from being a high school champ wrestler, along with a collegiate wrestler. And whenever he got TKO'd, he got hit with that last punch, and then they called it, and he just walked away. He was like, all right.
He knew. Yeah, he was like.
He wasn't like out of it. He just got hit too many times.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's one of those guys like Henry Cejudo who gets punched, and then their hair kind of follows wherever they get punched.
Right.
You know? I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I think those guys are hilarious. But Drew Dober looked great.
Yeah, he did.
I'm excited to see him.
Very crisp.
Yeah, because that's 155. Let's see here. Drew Dober. Damn. Yeah, he's been fighting. That's right. He got submitted by Beneil Dariush at the beginning of 2019. But Beneil's a serious contender. And then he beat up Marco Polo Reyes, who was 8-7. I don't put too much stock in that. But he beat up Nasserat. Oh, Jesus. How do you
Don't even try it.
All right. We'll just call him Nazi.
Harassment.
Nazi harassment.
Nazi harassment.
Yeah, I mean, he's on a hot streak. I mean, he trains with Justin Gaethje. He kind of looks like him a little bit.
You said his stance or the way that he bounced around.
He threw those little nice, tight leg kicks that Justin Gaethje likes. You know, he was kind of in like a little more pressure fighter. He's 31 years old. I think he looked good.
Yeah, he's got a future.
Yeah. All right, you got anything else to say about that?
No, but a very entertaining fight after the last 2 fights.
Well, I know you're talking shit about Alexander Hernandez before we...
I don't like the guy. I think... Oh.
What the hell?
What's that? Fix that. Did we blow out a fuse or something?
I don't know. There we go.
Oh. Okay, Google.
That was weird.
Turn on the damn lights.
Why no lights? Oh, I think... Are these smart bulbs? Oh, yeah,
they are smart bulbs. You told him to... Anyway, I don't like his attitude. I think when he fought Cowboy, he talked all the shit in the world, and he got his face beat in by Dad Cowboy.
Yep.
Which is the elite Cowboy.
That's the best one
who's
you're
basically retired Cowboy now.
Might as well retire.
Might as well be. He's not fighting with the same gusto that he used to.
No.
Or he gives up easily, but that's always been a thing for him. But let's not talk about him anymore. I don't like the way that... I love the way that Cowboy beat him up.
It was a great fight.
Yeah, going into that with all the shit talking, that was really good. All right, so... I mean, that fight, though, was so rewarding for me, personally. Because I don't like the guy. But I did not like to see him get beat up TKO'd like that. It was pretty hard to watch.
There was a couple fights on this card that were just like...
Referee can stop this at any moment.
Yeah.
I don't need to
Please stop it. Yeah. Next up, we got Big Ben Rothwell versus
I like this one.
OSP's move to heavyweight with the thickest ass in the world.
he's got badonk like out the chain. I mean, what did I say?
Kitchen lady ass.
Yeah, no, lunch lady bottom.
Yeah.
But no, he looked like he just got off the bus.
He did.
He came in with the sleepy eyes.
He was stoned and tired. Yeah.
Yeah. But he fought pretty well.
Yeah, he fought really well. That last 10 seconds of that fight, I was standing up. That was so exciting.
Yeah. They both went for it with hatchets. They were just swinging.
Right. Yeah. It wasn't the most technical fight in the world. But Ben Rothwell fight is, Ben Rothwell won the decision, split decision.
Right.
But I thought OSP looked fucking tired the whole time.
He did. He came in sedated.
Yeah. They gave him horse tranquilizer.
Yeah.
Before he got in the ring.
Yeah. So he didn't have many worries, and he fought as such. But they both got pretty winded, especially OSP was winded. You could hear it, and he was running quite a bit too.
Yeah, that was really weird. Like
he turned his back
and then run away.
Yeah. They got on the ground for a little while, and not too much action. But I like Ben. I like Big Ben.
Yeah.
I think he's a candidate for a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Whenever I see him fight, because he goes for the head, he goes for the jugular.
Yeah. No, he's exciting. I think that OSP. I'm a giant OSP fan just from the Von Flue chokes. Mm-hmm. And I like this weird shit that he does. I don't know what that means, but I like it.
That's a winning attitude.
Yeah, sure.
Shaq does that, right?
Is that what he does?
Oh yeah, Shaq does all kinds of cool stuff.
Well, is that?
But I've seen him.
Oh, okay.
He'll do that. Back in the Shaq Fu days.
Well, maybe that's where he stole it from. But regardless, it was an entertaining fight, and OSP looked great right at the end. He cracked Ben, dropped him twice. Once in the second round, once in the third. I could have seen it going the other way.
Yeah, but Ben got it. They gave it to Ben, and that's where I was leaning, but very so slightly, ever so slightly. Mm-hmm. Just because I think his strikes were more effective. Yeah. Whereas Peru was on the back foot a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah. But that could have gone either way, honestly.
And then Ben Rothwell called out Olenek, who just beat Verdum last weekend, which I feel like is just like he's asking for a platter that he can just break.
Interesting.
Olenek's not going to do much to him. He can't take him down. Can't hit him harder than Ben can hit him. I don't know. It seemed like a weird call out.
I like how many call outs were there? I mean, really, I'm glad that he called somebody out because nobody was saying shit. Really after the fight. Yeah,
great. All right, main event
of the evening. I get a 10 out of 10 for that. Glover, Xterra, how do you say it? Butcher it, go for it.
Glover Teixeira
versus Anthony Smith.
That's not Butcher, that's how you say his name.
Congratulations, you're smart. Anthony Smith, Lionheart, was very much allowed to show if he has a Lionheart. What's your verdict on the Lionheart?
It's too much.
It's too much. No, and he didn't go out on his shield.
No, it was sad.
It was sad. Yeah, he went out being dragged out basically by Glover, who was very happy to just keep mauling him. I wish that he would finish him off sooner. Glover's not a finisher, I would say. Like he's a brawler, and he gets in there and he messes you up pretty good, but the ref did a really good job of not stopping the fight. If you're into that, if you're into watching fights continue,
if you're into CTE,
if you're into brain damage, but it was just like Tony in the last fight, where you could see injury. Yeah. You could see a fighter who's visibly shaken. Their subconscious is trying to protect them. Like he would put his hands up, his head down, and his body moved reactionary to how it felt, not what the other fighter was doing. Right. And that's when I would stop the fight. Yeah. As a referee or as a corner.
In your corner.
As the corner.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And that was disappointing not to see.
Yeah.
We even saw. I thought the fight was over, but there was still another round. This is how much attention I pay. Yeah. But and then they had the corner, and they were talking strategy with Anthony. And Anthony, like, the only thing he said was like, "I think I'm losing teeth." Yeah. Or something. And it's like, when do you ask your fighter if they want to continue?
So there's a couple thoughts I have on that. With Anthony Smith probably broke both of his orbitals. And then lost a tooth. Teixeira hit him with a jab, and it's bad when a fighter you get hit and then they just stand there. Like they don't react to it. He's just like, you must have seen white or something like that. Again, he's too tough for his own good. But DC made a point, because we can hear everything he's fucking saying, that James Krause was saying if you're in this environment where you keep telling your fighter, he said wall to wall is what he kept calling it, where this James Krause every 2 seconds was telling
his corner would not shut up.
Yeah, exactly. And Anthony Smith would do everything. And so it was super high output for the first 2 rounds, which I think Anthony Smith won both those rounds.
Absolutely. He was sharp as a tack. I would definitely agree.
And
he was working hard, too. That jab and the combinations.
Yeah.
Some good kicks, too.
He looked good, but I think that James Krause kind of fucked him up and put him out of
by
pace.
Getting him gassed.
Yeah, exactly. And
the blood just wasn't flowing into the head anymore, and then every time he got hit in the head, he just couldn't recover it at all.
No.
It just kind of went downhill.
Yep. And Glover Teixeira, seasoned vet. I mean, he's 31-7 at 40 years old. I mean, the only people he's lost to is like Rumble Johnson and John Jones and Alexander Gustafsson and
killers.
Killers, exactly. Let's look through his record real quick, just because I'm curious. So, yeah, he beat Nikita Krylov, who's a beast. He beat Ian Kutabala.
He's on a streak.
Carl Robertson. Corey Anderson beat him by decision.
That was his last loss, huh?
2018, yeah. When was that? Let's say July 22nd, 2018. Almost 2 years ago. But yeah, I mean, he lost to Alexander Gustafsson, Anthony Johnson. Yeah, both giant black men. Beat OSP, beat Patrick Cummins. I mean, he's been around for a long time. Lost to Phil Davis, lost to John Jones. I mean, these guys, and that was in 2014.
Yeah. It's cool to see him making a run at 40.
Yeah, he's making a run at 40, but I was just telling you this, that if he would have been brought into the UFC 5 years earlier, whenever he was like late 20s, man, I think he would have been a force.
Yeah.
You know, he beat Ryan Bader, beat James DeHuna, beat Rampage, beat Fabio Maldonado, who I love, beat Kyle Kingsbury. I mean, these guys
What's his record?
He's 31-7.
That's a great record.
That's a great record.
Yeah.
5 losses in the UFC, so he had 2 losses coming in. Yeah, Anthony Smith's record, he's 32-15, but
wow,
he hasn't lost much in the UFC, and yeah, he's been putting a beating on people. It was just sad to see, you know, maybe his head wasn't in it because he just had that home invasion, and he seemed like he was kind of mentally fucked up from that.
Yeah, and also I wonder how much COVID played a part into everybody's mental health coming into this. I mean, definitely some fighters, they come to win and there's nothing else you can see besides just domination. But, you know, a lot of the people who are crumbling, that we're not used to see crumble, really. Like Smith, I mean, I don't think Glover's that much of a powerhouse, and I don't think he hit him like that hard. He did hit him with a couple clean shots that put him into that. Yeah. But the head in the game mentality from Smith was just a little bit under what I was kind of expecting.
Yeah, Glover's always there, man. I don't think he's ever looked bad. I mean, he's gotten knocked out, but he hasn't, like, you haven't seen him give up. You know, or just look defeated. Where Anthony Smith looked defeated, I could see it, and his corner was just like kept egging him on. You know, this is where the line art comes out. It's just like, dude, throw in the towel.
Yeah,
like what happened with Deontay Wilder. Like those guys were smart. He's getting beat up. Live to fight another day.
Live to fight another day. Exactly. I almost wish that there was another body of intelligence that could make the call as well, like so that there's more.
Ultimately, it should be the ref. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if he gave him too much of a chance. Do you feel like it?
I think there was a couple times where Jason, like, because we could hear, you know, Jason was like, "You gotta show me something."
He's checked in on him.
He was constantly checking in on him, and Anthony was still like, I'm good," but he's a fighter. He's always gonna say he's good.
Yeah, and I agree that Glover didn't do enough to finish him per se. He did within
like one more clean hit. Yeah, absolutely.
Of making me jump through the TV and stop the fight.
Right.
But I could see how the ref could let it go.
Yeah. I threw a towel at the TV and nothing happened.
Nothing happened?
Yeah. It wasn't even a white one. It's the closest one.
But yeah, good night of fights. What did we say? 8?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10. Yeah. 7 out of 10.
I would say, you know, we should have started the video out with this, but I think this fight was actually, you know, worth going back and watching if you missed it. Like there's some fight cards where I'd be like skip it, but this one was definitely had a lot of fun, and I think it was definitely worth watching.
Yeah, so we watched it on ESPN Plus and then on ESPN.
No, it was all on ESPN Plus.
It was all on ESPN Plus. Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally worth it. Yeah, I've got it. You've got it. I think if you get a pay-per-view, then it's just $20 extra for a whole year of
ESPN Plus.
Of ESPN Plus, and you get a bunch of
They're
free
not a
fights.
sponsor.
They're not a sponsor. I'm just trying to get new fans so that we can all talk about it because UFC is fucking awesome. But yeah, I mean the pay-per-views are great. What's next? Next weekend?
Yeah, next weekend we got Alistair Overeem versus Walt Harris. We got Claudia Gadelha versus Angela Hill. Dan Ige versus Edson Barboza. He's moving down to featherweight.
What?
Eric Anders versus Christoph Jocko. I mean, this is like a great card as far as, exciting fights. Marlon Vera versus Song Yadong, which might be my favorite name in the world. That's just the main card. And then Matt Brown is fighting. Anthony Hernandez fighting Kevin Holland, who I really like. Darren Elkins is on this card. He's fighting Nate Landwehr. I don't know who that is. But yeah, I mean, solid card this upcoming weekend as well.
Where are we going to be able to watch that one?
That's just on ESPN.
This weekend?
Yeah.
Great. Easy peasy. No extra money out of the cheesy.
Nope. Not yet.
Cheesy lines from me. But yeah, very excited. Very exciting.
I'm sure that we'll do something for that too.
Yeah, we should make maybe a preview video of that or another after video like this.
Yeah.
Or we might make a totally different
or do
kind of a podcast or something or a fight watch thing. But I think for now we'll just make these and see what kind of audience appreciation we get or all the hate. But yeah, if you liked it,
you guys can't announce anything.
If you don't like it, just please move on quietly. We're just doing our stupid thing here. But yeah, how do we sign out from this?
The shovel and the affectionate. I don't even know my own nickname. What's my nickname?
It's the affectionate.
Yeah, the affectionate.
I don't know why it's the affectionate. You're pretty cool. Are you?
No.
You've never once touched me. All right, that was very affectionate, I must admit. Anyway, yeah, I'm the shovel because I shove people.
Yep.
Watch yourself. But yeah, thanks for watching. Check you next time.
Peace.